Hi, and welcome to the Caregiver's Voice. This episode will touch on gratitude. Gratitude is something that is very special to me and something that is close to my heart. I express gratitude in every platform that I find, and I'm someone that lives a great gratitude filled life. So today we want to just understand, what does gratitude mean to a caregiver? What does it mean when you need to reintegrate back to the society after a long period of silence, of bitterness? And so I'm joined by my friend today, who will tell us what gratitude means generally or broadly, and also cue us into a few questions, and I hope to answer them to the best of my ability and my memory or my experience as a caregiver. Thank you.
Start with a quote from Anne White. Maybe it's not about having a beautiful day, but finding beautiful moments. In all things, no matter how dark and ugly, there are shards of beauty if you look for them. Of course, being a caregiver has its fair share of challenges. What would you say have been some of your most beautiful moments in this journey?
So looking back on my caregiving journey, or my family caregiving journey, three things that I'm utmostly grateful to God and the universe for would be laughter, family and friendships, and progress. So what does laughter mean to me? So there are moments when we are laughing so heartily, and I look at the people around me laughing. It could be family, it could be friends. I look at them laughing so hard, and in that moment I just want to bottle it up and just keep it with me so that I never lose that moment. It's something that I see once in a very long time. So for me, laughter is something that is very special to me. And I try to surround myself with very funny individuals so that I keep laughing. But then for me, the most special moments are when I'm laughing with my family. And that takes me to the second point. When we are gathered together as a family, even across all the hardships, or even when you're having challenges, and my dad just cracks a joke and we all go laughing, it's a special moment, and I can't honestly start to describe what it makes me feel. And looking at us being happy in that moment just makes me tear up. And sometimes you might actually find we are laughing too hard and I end up crying. And some friends ask me, why are you crying? And I'm like, I'm just so happy that I don't want to lose this moment. I don't want to forget how happy this moment makes me feel. Just seeing everyone laughing in the room, or everyone happy, because the next time I'll see them laughing, who knows? So laughter and family are very special to me. Good friendships. To be honest, I'm super grateful to God for the friends that He gave me, or the friends that He sent my way. Through the caregiving journey, of course, a few fell off, or a few became distant. But then those that joined the bandwagon right through my caregiving journey have become the most soulful friendships that I've had. They've been friendships of love, of joy, of grit and grace, as my friend calls it. And there are moments that you share at a spirit level, and not like the conversations I've held with my friends have not been fluffy or up in the air conversations. They've been conversations that are filled with depth and filled with spirit and so much love, and that is something that I'm really grateful for. The last thing that honestly I'm also very grateful for, or would count as a beautiful moment, has been progress. And this is something that I really hold dear to my heart. Every time I see my sister waking up, dressing and going to school, I just feel like I need to conquer the world just for her sake. She inspires me in ways she doesn't know. Every time I see her so devotedly going through her physiotherapy or occupational therapy sessions, I'm always like, then what should hold me back? I, who has 2 feet, to go around and walk around. And for me, that is something that I'm really grateful for. I'm grateful for a sister that is so hardworking, a sister that is so inspirational. And Brenda, if you're watching this, I really want you to know that you really, truly inspire the hell out of me. Yeah. So those are the 3 things that I'm seriously grateful for, and moments that have been beautiful, that make me wake up every morning. So every time I wake up in the morning and I'm like, there's progress because I hear my sister up. There's progress because I hear Faith laughing, or my dad calling me because there's something funny. And there's progress, or there's gratitude because I know there's a friend that will call me up and tell me, Dolly, you can do this. So I'm really grateful for those moments. Yeah.
So let's focus on your joyful moments that you have alluded to. I'd like to know, for you, is it more of a cushion, or are you really present during those moments? Because it can be something that you look forward to, because at that particular moment you can escape what is happening around you.
That's a very, very interesting question. And I would just say initially, when I was in my react phase, and just to define the react versus response methodology that I really used in life, it's react is when you are actually bitter about situations. And so rather than responding to what the situation is at hand, from a very thoughtful perspective, you've analyzed everything. And now, based on what I'm empowered with, I'm able to now handle this situation from a knowledgeable perspective. React, on the other hand, is you do not have the full context, you do not see the full view, you have no full perspective of the situation, and so you just go at things in a very abrasive manner. And so I would say when I was in my react phase, maybe at that time I would just call someone to make me laugh or something like that. And so it was maybe a more transactional relationship, or a more transactional perspective to life. But then when now, and this really comes a lot from, very good friendships again, and people who are very patient with me, and thanks to therapy and meditation. So I really loved my meditation time in India. From all these tools that helped me get more in touch with who I am, I started responding to situations better. And right now I live a much more gratitude filled life, or a much more joyful life. And I'm training myself to be more present in situations, to listen more, to be fully in the moment, or be mindful of what the situation is. Of course, there's sometimes, I feel it's like Dolly getting out of Dolly, to just observe people laughing and take that moment in. And I feel that is what now, that's what laughter means to me, or that's what that moment means to me. It's me getting out of myself somehow and absorbing the entire experience the laughter together with my friends, experience the laughter together with my family. And so it's more of, I come from that perspective of, let's have this joyful moment. I want to bottle it up because it's too beautiful as I observe it in this very moment, and I am present in that particular place or that particular time. Yeah.
You mentioned severally about the type and of course the quality of friends that you have. Would you say that you have always had these friends, or what has changed in you over time? Because in most cases we attract who we are. An example can be, during the time, maybe during your party years, you'll attract the kind of people who like going out.
Okay. So ideally, and you've just taken my mind to a book called The Seat of the Soul by Gary Zukav that I feel everyone needs to read. And this book was recommended by a very, very good friend. Her name is Laura Naliaka Napora. I love her to bits. And I tend to think one of the things the book quotes, or one of the things Gary highlights in these books, is we have spiritual teachers or spiritual guides. And these guides come to us when the timing is right. Like, there is never wrong timing. And I think it's actually the same with friendship. I would say my friends are spiritual guides. My friends are people who are sent to me at exactly the right moment that they needed to be. I went to school with Laura, for example. We went to the same high school, went through 4 years together, but I never had a deep conversation with her, not even once. We reconnected when I was in Kigali. I was in Kigali for a few weeks, and we reconnected there. And the kind of conversations we had, to be honest, I wouldn't have had them with anyone else. And that's how I treat friendships. It's the friendships I've had. Honestly, yes, I had to grow into the person I needed to attract into my life. So that means there was a lot of work that needed to be done inside here. Moving from that point that I alluded to, moving from that reactive dolly that we had to a more responsive person, going back and reclaiming the girl that was happier before the incident happened. And so, working on myself is what I feel brought around the amazing army of friends that I have. It's friends who are deep, friends who are caring. There's a really interesting quote that I also read in one of the comments my friends had on Facebook, and it was, love begets love. When you have friends that are loving, you beget more love. When you have friends that are gratitude filled, you have more gratitude. or more grateful, and that is how I would say the friendships have grown. I've found people in very different situations. Some friends, of course, have been long term, some I met along the journey, and I want to repeat, it took a lot of working in myself for me to meet the right kind of friends. I didn't have the wrong friends before. God was very gracious to give me really nice friends, but the more in-depth kind of spiritual friendships that I'm talking about, I did meet them when I had to work on myself. Yeah. Any other questions? Yeah.
So would you say that being a caregiver was a blessing in disguise, in the sense that it has made you a better person, it has made you to become more self-aware, to be more grateful?
That's a catch-22, you may say. Would I have become who I am without Brenda happening? I don't know. I would never know, and I don't have the answer to that. But have I become the person that I am because of Brenda's happening? Yes, definitely. I feel every experience comes to us to shape us. Initially, I was in this why me state, why us, why Brenda? And of course, it was just that space of, this should not have happened to us. Then I moved into this space of, I would not wish what we've gone through on any of my friends, and not even on my worst enemy, because it's dark, it's painful, it's quite a journey, and it's quite intense, if I may put it that way. That being said, yes, maybe, I don't know, I would say it's a blessing in disguise. And it's shaped me into who I am. And I'm very sure it's also been quite the experience and quite the journey for Brenda herself. One day she'll speak for herself. And I wouldn't say like it's all green and all rosy now. It has its moments. There are moments I still wish it all away, or I wish it never happened. But then I still want to say I'm grateful for everything, for the lessons I've learned, and for also, had it not been for that, we would not be here talking to you. I would not be here. I would never have thought of this. Maybe I'd be in another planet right now. I don't know. Anyway, I do not have an answer to that. But I am grateful that it happened. I am grateful that my sister is who she is because she keeps inspiring me every day. I am grateful that it happened to such a prayerful family, to such an amazing father, to such a hardworking and relentless mother, to such a beautiful and carefree or a free-spirited brother, that it happened to such an aloof sister somehow, because these are all strengths that come together to be an umbrella and to support Brenda through this journey. Because if it hadn't been us, then who else? I do not wish it on you, on your worst enemy, on my worst enemy, who I do not know whether I have, or on anyone else. Yeah, so I'm grateful for it. Yeah.
As we wrap up, give us some tips on how family caregivers can incorporate gratitude into their daily lives.
Thank you. That's another very good question. So, ideally, I think the tools or the best way to incorporate gratitude into your daily lives, fellow family caregivers, would be first, just be present. Be more mindful and be present. Gratitude does not mean do not acknowledge the negative moments. Do acknowledge them, find someone to talk to, and at least blow off the steam. But then gratitude also means recognizing every small moment to rejoice in, every small moment to be happy about. In one of the episodes, one of the caregivers from Nakuru said she lives a day at a time. And that is the only strength or the only armor to living a gratitude-filled life. So in your daily, in your day, just look at one moment you want to be grateful for. An example for me was one day when my sister could now hold a bottle and just drink water from her hands. I think for me that was a very big win. It would mean nothing to someone else, but for me it just meant my sister can hold a cup, and that's a big win. My sister can now brush her teeth, and that's a fabulous thing to be grateful for. My sister can now, do anything that she wants to do. My sister can now travel wherever she wants to travel. My sister can now go to malls without hiding out at home. For me, those were really moments to be grateful for, and big moments as well. Recognize them for what they are and celebrating them. Don't feel the need to hide behind your joy. For me, the highlight of my gratitude was when my sister graduated, and I was just like, never in my wildest dreams. I had hoped for it, but then I had not seen this day come to fruition. It had been 3 years in hospital, or 3 years of deferment, and seeing that moment, or seeing my sister graduate, I wasn't physically present, but I just put together a clip video of the progress or the journey thus far, and I was just so excited and happy. So I think be present, celebrate the small wins, and celebrate the grand moments, because it's worth it, and it will give you so much joy, and at least you have a way of counting your blessings. I'd like to end this episode as well by saying we are at Haven Cottage. It's an education center in Othaya Road, or at Othaya Road in Lavington area. It's a center that cares for families that have children with autism, different levels of autism in the spectrum, as well as cerebral palsy. And I'm very honored to be part of this community, and it's a really lovely community of children and family. Thank you, and see you next time. Bye bye.